Hello. Hello, beautiful people. You're most welcome to Footprints with Betwell. Thank you so much for joining. Today, I'd like us to discuss this very, very popular quote. To err is human, to forgive divine. A lot of people think that this quote or this phrase is biblical, but it is not. The popular phrase, to err is human and to forgive divine, is a quote from a popular British poem titled An Essay on Criticism. This poem is a creation from Alexander Pope's collection. Alexander Pope is a British writer and poet. Now, to err is human, to forgive divine is a phrase or a saying or a quote that has been interpreted, misinterpreted, or recoined by many to justify their actions and reactions in relationships, like human relationships, which normally, constantly suffer from misunderstandings, mistakes, and of course, unforgiveness. Today, my lovies, I bring you an interesting analysis of this famous quote, to err is human, to forgive divine. And it is an excerpt from our love and forgiveness chat with Reverend Father Blessed Amba Njume of the Diocese of Kumba, Cameroon. Yeah, please watch, comment, and share.
I remember once we made this statement. It was in a philosophical class, a class of philosophy back in the seminary. And our philosophy professor said, no, when you say to err is human, it means it is human nature to err.
Yeah.
But which is not true. God did not make the human being with error.
Oh.
Good. So it's a way of people making it, to give themselves some laissez-passer to make mistakes and to say, you see, to err is human. It is never human to err. God made us perfect. Yes. So
That's
don't
new.
hide behind the fact that to err is human. When
That's
you say
new.
to err is human, means God made human beings and they are bound to make mistakes. Never. Remember the book of Genesis, everything God made was good.
Perfect.
So there was
yeah.
no error. Beautiful. So this is just to say, it's a statement that we have grown up and we have grown used to saying, but we must try as much as possible. I know the idea behind it is, being human beings, we are liable to make little mistakes and all of that. That is understood. But at the same time, we should not hide behind that fact. We should always make an effort, because some people make a mistake openly and willingly, wittingly, and they hide behind the fact to err is human. No. It's different when you make a mistake unwittingly. It could be understood. But when you deliberately do something which is wrong and you hide behind the fact that to err is human, it is not acceptable. It should not be part and parcel of you to make a mistake. But when they say to forgive is divine, the idea is not that it is left to God. No.
Don't count on me.
Yes. It doesn't mean that it is a divine thing. It is God's thing to forgive. My own is only to err, so God will do the forgiveness. No. It means that it is a wonder. Let us say it is a holy act to forgive. That is what it means. So when they say to forgive is divine,
All right.
yes, it is a holy thing to forgive. It is
a godly thing. A godly thing. Yeah. All
right.
right.
It is human and it is godly to forgive.
To forgive. All right.
Righteous to forgive. It doesn't mean that now God is in. God will forgive you.
And unforgiveness is something that is so common nowadays. So,
firstly, it is a sin. Okay, not to be able to forgive, you are committing sin. And unless you do not want to go to heaven, when we say all the talk when we talk about heaven, it don't interest you. But if you have an interest to go to heaven, then you discover that you have to forgive, because it is that forgiveness that leads us to heaven. Remember what Jesus said in their Father prayer: forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. If you fail to forgive those who have hurt you, my heavenly Father will not also forgive you. So first, if you desire heaven, forgive. Secondly, there are many people who are sick and go to hospital and the doctors are not able to diagnose anything, not because they are really sick, but because they keep many people in their heart.
Grudges.
You have grudges that you are not able to let go. And then you have the high blood. You have, how do you call it, gastric. You have all these things piling up. Because the moment you see that one that you hate, you start frowning your face. Adrenaline is going out. And you start getting old even before your time. So you discover that the trick, like I said, when you forgive, you do good even more to yourself than to the person whom you are forgiving. So please, I'm begging, it's not easy, but it is for your own good. There are many people who have just sat and you have heart attack just because they think and think and think many thoughts, things that you can just simply let go. So please, it is good to forgive. One, because we are in need of heaven, and two, for your own health. It is important and necessary. In as much as someone has hurt you, we are begging on you. It is a virtuous thing to forgive and let them go. You see, it is a divine thing to do, to forgive them and let them go. So that is the understanding.
My love is, forgiveness is a precious gift to humanity. Now, the phrase to err is human, to forgive divine, or to err is human and to forgive a godly act, was inspired by a popular Latin proverb that depicts the weakness of the human person. But thankfully, this phrase, to err is human, to forgive divine, has been used by many to mend and amend broken relationships all over the world. Personally, I think that the world is in dire need of a kind of healing and peace that only true forgiveness can bring. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. Let's all continue to thrive in love and forgiveness. You take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.